Okay, more conversation. I'm excited. I'm having so much fun with this. All right, to talk about the fats and the dairy. We'll talk about dairy first. So dairy here lately, it's trending that dairy is not all that good for us, which I have a tendency to slightly lean toward agreeing with. That being said, I still have a little bit of dairy in my diet. I do occasionally eat Greek yogurt, and I still eat cheese. Trust, I still eat cheese. And if I make like lasagna or something, I'll use ricotta or cottage cheese, and it really kind of sums it up. If I'm baking with anything, I'll use unsweetened almond milk, or my kids still drink 1% milk, and they eat whole milk yogurt. I mean, so we still have a little bit floating around. But dairy is pretty inflammatory, so if you have any sort of pain or arthritis, or your stomach hurts all the time, then you may try doing less dairy to see if that helps. It just kicks up your inflammatory response in your body, and what that means is that it makes everything swollen. Your ligaments are swollen, all your tissues are swollen, everything's just swollen and uncomfortable. So if you decrease your dairy a little bit, that may calm all that down. But as far as dairy goes, I believe in doing middle of the road. So I don't necessarily believe in skim or fat-free dairy, because if there's no fat in there to help balance out the sugar in it, then your blood sugar will spike a little bit. I talk about blood sugar a lot because it's one of my eating goals, because diabetes runs so rampant in my family that I eat according to my goal of not getting diabetes. So I'm always very conscious of the spacing of my meals and what I'm putting in to help not jack up my blood sugar, because that'll just trigger a snowball effect. So 2% milk or 1% milk, or low-fat yogurt, low-fat cottage cheese, low-fat sour cream. Here lately, because it was on Dr. Oz, everybody was losing their minds over whole milk is healthy for you. Whole milk is not healthy for you. Are there some benefits to drinking whole milk versus skim milk? Yeah, I believe so. But again, it kind of depends on what else you got going on health-wise. I just feel like we're having super coffee talk right now. Again, so if your cholesterol is through the roof and everybody in your family has died from heart disease and heart attacks and stroke, you don't need to be drinking whole milk all day long. You do not. Your arteries will collapse upon themselves. All right. So in that case, you need to be drinking like 1% milk, or switch to do one of the other dairy alternative milks that are so popular nowadays. Almond milk or rice milk or soy milk or hemp milk or coconut milk or cashew milk. I mean, there's a ton out there. So just kind of pick one. All right. Make sure it's unsweetened as much as you can, so you're not taking something that's got sugar dumped into it. Dairy. All right, so that's that. The best dairy, I'm really not going to say that, but plain Greek yogurt counts as a protein food, so that's nice. That's really nice too if you just don't want to eat just so much meat all the time. All right, fats. So there's a big world of fat. So there's saturated fat. Saturated fat clogs everything up. It's the unhealthy one. That's the bacon grease and butter and sausage and the fat around the pork chops, and that's the fat that's not good for your heart. Our body needs fat, but we don't need to use it as an excuse to be like, what up, I'm gonna eat Rotel dip all day long because I need fat. Okay, your body does need fat. Healthier fats like avocados, nut butters, and oils. Coconut oil, again, is kind of taking over the world right now. It's a good replacement for butter if you're going to bake anything. It doesn't taste like coconut. So if you freak out and you're like, there's no way I'm ever going to eat coconut anything, because I hate it, you don't really taste coconut oil. Let's see. So the biggest thing is when you add a little bit of fat to your food, or if your food has some fat in it, it'll help sustain your energy levels, because it's kind of like a little IV drip of, it just kind of, so if you have a little bit of fat with a carb, so if you have toast with a little bit of peanut butter on it, that's going to carry you for longer. It's going to carry your energy for a little bit longer, because it has that combination of that fat with that carb. So your blood sugar is not going to spike as high as if you had toast with jelly on it. So that little bit of fat is important because it can kind of help keep our hunger at bay if you're trying to eat less because you're trying to lose weight. But it is important to make sure you include in your system. Plant fats are better than animal fats 100% of the time. So you're always better off doing an olive oil versus cooking something in butter. Ghee is really popular right now in the whole paleo world, or the clean world. So I mean, it's clarified butter, so it's a source of, it takes all the milk solids out of it, so people who are lactose intolerant can tolerate that a little bit better. Let's see, olive oil and canola oil are the best plant oils, but you can also get all kinds of stuff: grapeseed oil, flax oil, any kind of that. But it's all the plant stuff is better than the lard, butter, anything that's solid at room temperature. So if you've got a grease can on your stove, grease is liquid at high temperature, but once it gets to room temperature, solid and sludgy. And if it's sitting solid on the countertop, it's sitting solid in your arteries, clogging everything up. Okay, so we need it. Spread it out evenly a little bit throughout the day. If you have any questions on fat, post it below. This is my shorter video, so you're welcome.